You think you know your coworkers, but what if one of them was watching you? Waiting for you? Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you've ever felt like someone's watching you, like they're always one step ahead, hit that like button. Subscribe if you enjoy stories about the quiet power of patience. The warnings didn't come that morning. They came months earlier, through my phone. Whispers in the night. Shadows on my wall. I worked for one of the largest hospitals in Indiana. My department was in the basement. Underground. Concrete walls. No windows. Even when I worked from home, it felt like that place followed me. Like I was still trapped down there, breathing recycled air. Drying my sweat with cold, dead fingers. I had just taken on a new role, one that didn't exist before me. No handbook. No training. Just pressure. Management watching every move, expecting results without direction. Before I could fully move on, I was told to train my replacement. That's when I met him. He watched too closely during video calls. Didn't blink much. Like he was studying people instead of listening to them. Then he started talking about his life. He lived alone. Acres of land. Deep woods. Cameras everywhere. Surveillance wasn't a hobby, it was a necessity, he said. People crossed boundaries. Then came the stories. Stories about people who had wronged him. Neighbors. Old coworkers. Friends who had stopped talking to him. Every story was told the same way, slow, detailed, and heavy with certainty that he was the victim. And every time, he explained what he could legally do to someone who crossed him. Not with anger. With calm. With a smile I saw once, in a screenshot, once we were both fully remote, the messages started. At first, they were complaints. About management. About unfair workloads. About being targeted. And the unsettling part was, some of it was true. The department was toxic. Overmanaged. One team leader enjoyed confusing people. Enjoyed control. But his messages weren't venting. They were fixation. They came late at night. Long paragraphs. No punctuation. No doubt. He believed meetings were traps. Tasks were tests. Humiliation was intentional. And then, he started sending me locations. Coordinates. Of places I'd been. Places I'd eaten. Places I'd slept. He knew about the coffee shop I went to every Friday. He knew about the park where I walked my dog. He knew about the late-night grocery runs I made when insomnia hit. And with each message, he'd add a detail. A small thing. A thing that made my skin crawl. I started tracking the times he messaged. 2:47 a.m., 3:14 a.m., 4:02 a.m. Always in the dead of night. Always when the world was dark. And the messages weren't just text. They were audio clips. Timestamps. Location pins. He was watching. He was waiting. My hands just moved. Screenshot. Save. Paste. Like instinct had taken over. The document kept growing. Page after page of madness. Meanwhile, my own life was unraveling. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating properly. Every notification made my heart race. Even silence felt threatening. His messages grew darker. He talked about being dared. About being pushed. About how some people only understand consequences when words stop working. That's when fear stopped being abstract. It became physical. I changed my routines. I stopped going to the coffee shop. I stopped walking my dog at night. I changed my phone number. But he found me. Of course he did. He sent me a picture of my front door. Of my car. Of my bedroom window. Then came the meeting. I wasn't in it, but I felt the shift immediately. Like something irreversible had happened. When my manager called, her voice was controlled. Too controlled. She asked if I'd noticed anything concerning. I opened the document. 23 pages. I sent it without saying a word. The next morning, the hospital locked down. Basement sealed. Security everywhere. Locks changed. Codes reset. He was fired. Escorted out. People whispered about yelling. About threats. About how close it came. But here's the twist, they never found him. He vanished. And the night after the lockdown, my front door opened by itself. And the document, it had updated. One new message. I'm closer. I sat alone in my house, staring at my phone, thinking about the woods he described. The cameras. The weapons. The calm certainty in his voice. And how close paranoia gets to violence, before anyone listens. The police took the document. They reviewed the messages. They said I was safe. They said he was gone. But I knew better. He was waiting. He was watching. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The messages stopped. The silence was worse. It was like he'd gone into hiding. Like he was planning. And then, my dog went missing. I searched everywhere. Neighbors saw nothing. Cameras caught nothing. But on my doorstep, a picture. A picture of my dog. Alive. The message was clear. He had it all along. The woods. The cameras. The control. I left my house. I left my job. I left everything. Because I knew. He'd win. He'd wait. And I'd lose. That night, my phone didn't buzz. No messages. No typing. No sound. And that's when I realized something that still keeps me awake. The danger never appeared suddenly. It had been there the whole time. Quiet. Patient. Learning. And if I hadn't started taking screenshots, I don't know how this story would have ended. I'm in hiding now. No phone. No address. No identity. But sometimes I hear it. A whisper. A breath. I'm closer. And I know he's still out there. Waiting. Months passed. I moved to a new city. Changed my name. Started over. But the nightmares didn't stop. The feeling of being watched didn't go away. And then, one night, I saw him. In a grocery store. Standing in the shadows. Watching me. I froze. He smiled. And he whispered. I'm closer. I ran. I didn't look back. I kept running until I was safe. But I know he's still out there. Waiting. So I will say at the end, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore the signs. Take action before it's too late. If you like this story, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more true stories and updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've had a similar experience, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.